did you understand why do we need fine tuning?
100%.
Okay,
100%.
explain me. Fine tuning is not as easy as it sounds. Then I will not have to train the model also.
So which is better? RAG is better or fine tuning is better? From teacher to the student model. What do you call distillation?
Hello, Papa.
Hi, Kirti.
You use a lot of ChatGPT, right?
Definitely I use it.
What do you think? How does it work?
I may not be really aware of the how part of it, but what I think is that definitely either it has over the years it has captured the data, and when we ask it is trying to search at a very fantastic speed and giving us the answers. But the how part I'll not be able to answer.
Very good. That is close enough. But do you think it searches at the real time? Like, because there's so much of data that is presented in
Not real time. Not real time.
Yes.
It cannot be real time.
Right.
Because I do not know. That I have not tried. Suppose IPL match is going on, and I want to ask the current score, whether it will be able to give me the answer or not. I am not very sure about it.
Okay.
But if I am going to ask what was the result of the IPL played a few hours back or yesterday, it will definitely give me the answer.
Very good. Very good. Okay, so let's break this down into some parts. So the first thing that you said was that there is a lot of data that is present in public, right?
Definitely.
So what happened was that ChatGPT was trained. So the machines learned from the data that is present in public. Correct?
Okay.
But do you think ChatGPT actually thinks when we ask questions to it?
I may not be able to the competent person to answer this question, but to a certain extent, yes, I will guess that it thinks. If the thing, suppose I am asking a question, you may ask a different question, same question in different manner. So it has to logically understand what I am asking, what you are asking, and fetch the answers. To that extent, yes, thinking part is there.
So it looks like it is thinking,
Okay.
especially to like normal people. But all that ChatGPT is doing is it is just guessing what should be the next word in a particular sentence. Let me explain that to you. See, there's a lot of data on which it was trained. So it learned a lot of patterns. Like for example, it must have gone through a lot of stories.
Okay.
So it saw that usually the stories start with once upon a time.
Once upon a time. Okay.
Right, so there was once upon a, and then it understood that usually after once upon a there is time.
A time should come.
Correct.
Okay.
So when we say to ChatGPT that tell me a story, it usually starts with once upon a,
Okay,
and then
that's
time will
interesting.
come, and
That's
then
interesting.
right.
Okay.
So there's a lot of data that is present. It just learned the patterns that usually after this is the word that comes.
Okay.
And based on that, it is just guessing the next word, and that is how we are getting the answers.
But then still it is fascinating.
Yes, obviously, of course. It
Yeah.
is awesome, right? Before we move ahead, I would like to ask you if you know that in our Educosys GenAI course, I didn't just cover the application side, but I also covered the basics of GenAI. So neural networks, RNNs, LSTMs, we literally wrote the transformer code, went through the white paper, went through the DeepSeek white paper. We have done so much. You have to check out the testimonials. Plus, if you're preparing for interviews, then I have courses on DSA, LLD, HLD. We have courses on C++. There is so much. You have to check out the testimonials at least. Even the LinkedIn profiles of all our testimonials are added over there for credibility, right? So you should know that if you like my teaching style, I love teaching over there. We are building a great community and so many people are already part of it. At least check out the details in the description. But now coming to the next part that you were saying, that it might not be real time is what you were
It
saying.
may not be real time. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So what happened was that, have you noticed that recently in ChatGPT there is a button for search?
Yes.
So when you say explicitly do search, it has to do a web search, and it is actually slower at that time.
Definitely.
Right. So there will be instances when you will need to do web search, like if you're searching for a more recent thing, versus when you're searching for a very like historical thing or a generic thing, you will not need web search, right? Like it is already trained on that data, so you'll be able to like just ask.
No, I can give you one example of this. Recently, a few days back, when the markets, stock markets were not doing good, I just wanted to test ChatGPT, to be very frank. I just asked a question, please suggest me some good large cap, mid cap and small cap stocks. It took some time and it gave me some stocks, and it gave the credit to some other sites like brokerage sites, some research analyst sites, that these are the people who are recommending these stocks.
Was the search thing
No, I didn't use search thing.
Okay.
I just typed the question simply. I have never used that search command so far.
Okay. So it might have gone through the site because you might have asked for a more recent thing, right? So that might have happened, and it is doing it by default because it would have understood that this is a more recent thing, so I need to search.
Yeah.
That could also happen,
Okay.
right? But for now, you understand the problem that, if it is a very recent real time data, then ChatGPT might not have that data, right?
Quite possible.
Right? Similarly, now think about it. I have my courses, you know about
Yeah,
it, right?
definitely.
Now, do you think ChatGPT knows about my courses?
I'm not very sure. But since your courses are popular, if I type edu courses, I'm pretty sure that it will give me something about the edu courses.
Don't you think it depends on when was it trained? So if I would have started EduCourses after the ChatGPT was trained, then it would not have the information.
But if it is a continuous training exercise, say suppose 10 people ask, there may be so many clients with you who would have asked ChatGPT. I do not know. I'm not very sure. So it would have got prompted to use the learning module, or maybe the people at the back end would have thought that this is a question which is coming up.
There are no people who are doing
People
this.
means that database.
Machine would have understood that we need to probably train on this,
yeah.
right? So you understand that training a model is not as easy as it sounds. So
Definitely,
there is this
definitely.
entire conversation of NVIDIA chips, and there's so much of
Definitely.
computation that is needed for training the models. You understand that?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes. So the bigger the models, the more computation you need and all of
And
this.
more time and
Correct.
all those things.
So what you're saying is that you would have to train the model again.
Again, definitely.
Correct? Okay.
Definitely.
Now tell me of this use cases for some specific companies, okay? So suppose I have a company, EduCourses. Now, suppose my information is not public currently.
Then it may be a problem.
Now it is a problem,
Yeah.
right? So this is a very usual normal use case, right?
But
You can
normally what happens is, Kirti, now you may not be public. There are so many methods of collecting the data, like Google reviews, like the customer feedback. And this data is available in the public platforms. So from there, the learning can be also captured.
But this is just one example, no? A lot of companies have their internal data, no? That might not be public.
That will not be public. Yes,
Right.
Definitely.
But suppose I want to create a chatbot which is able to answer questions related to my products, which is specific to my company.
Then it's excellent.
Then how can you do that? Because ChatGPT and other usual models do not know about that information.
Yeah.
But then I want to make it learn. So I have to train the models again, right?
Definitely.
So you understand that, see, ChatGPT is running on one model that is being given by OpenAI company,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
this, there are many other models. You must have heard that there is a model by Google, there is a model by
DeepSeek
DeepSeek.
and also,
Very
yeah,
good. Correct. So there are a lot of models that are present.
Okay.
So what companies can do is that I'm going to take this model and I'm going to make the
Train it
model
particularly suiting my requirements.
exactly. And this is called fine tuning.
Say suppose that what you call it,
Chatbot.
chatbots, like all the airlines or the have chatbots, and even all the platforms have chatbots. Are they using ChatGPT and developing their chatbots, or they have done it on their own?
So it used to be there earlier also, they must have been using third-party solutions, but now this is what most of the companies are doing. They are basically taking their own small model and they are making this model learn about their specific data.
They may be asking the questions again and again so that the
Correct.
chatbot gets trained.
See, now this is not the only solution. Okay, fine tuning is not the only solution. So I want to discuss different solutions with you one by one. But did you understand why do we need fine tuning?
100%.
Okay,
100%.
explain me.
Because something which is very specific to my company. So suppose I was working with BHEL. Now the results of the BHEL will be in public domain. The results means the financial results, the physical results. But whatever is internal to BHEL will not be available publicly.
Very good.
So people internal from BHEL will be knowing it. So if they want to use that data, that chatbot answers those data to a customer query, then they will definitely have to train it according to the requirements.
Correct. Very good. Also, see, ChatGPT is a very general solution, right? Because it is trained on medical data, finance data, it is trained on like all legal data, all sorts of data.
Yeah.
Now, suppose I want my particular, model that I have to be very specialized, suppose in legal documentation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a lot of legal docs,
docs.
and I'm going to train the model just for this legal one.
Understood.
Understood. So it is like the model that I already have, that suppose ChatGPT or DeepSeek or Google's model. This model has basically, it is good at English. It is like a child. Now I'm making it specialized in a particular domain.
Okay.
That can be medical, it can be legal, it can be anything.
Understood.
Right? So you understand the meaning of fine tuning now?
Fine tuning is clear.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now can you think of a problem with fine tuning?
Depends on the people who are assigned this job in the company, internal to the company, how better they can do the fine tuning.
Correct. Plus, fine tuning is not as easy as it sounds, right? Because you have to have the computation power, you will need engineers to do the fine tuning and all of this.
Basically, you will have to have the understanding from the customer's point of view, or whoever is the user, what questions they are asking.
That model will learn, but you will have to feed in the correct data.
That's what I am saying.
Correct.
Saying. You are not even aware of it, what customer is going to ask. See, there will be certain general questions, but there will be questions which are sometimes out of the course.
So you have to have enough data.
Enough data.
Correct.
Definitely.
And you need computation like hardware to train it and all of this, and it is not very easy, right? Plus, think about it. Suppose DHL's data that you were talking about, your data might be updated very frequently.
Definitely.
Correct.
On sometimes on real-time basis.
So do you think we are going to train our model again and again? Because training is going to take billions of dollars. Like if
Billions
we train dollars, if we have like a huge model, suppose if it's a small model, small data,
Depends.
it's fine.
I took a very irrelevant example. Like say suppose whatever consumer-centric example, this is particularly industry-centric, where there may not be requirement of chatbot so much. But wherever consumer, say suppose
legal documentation one example.
I'll take another simple example. Suppose like Amazon or DMart. There are so many customer queries.
Correct. For products of the Amazon,
products
right?
of the
Or courses of Educourse.
Yeah.
And not everything might be public, right?
Not everything.
And we want the answers to be correct. It is not like it should search from online and it should get some random answer, right?
Definitely.
It has to be correct for sure.
Definitely.
Plus, my products and my courses might be like very frequently updated, no? So, fine tuning again and again, training the model again and again.
If your data is not updated in the public forum, then you'll have to definitely train the model. Train the model.
But training doesn't sound very easy, right? It is going to take a lot of effort.
Then what is the solution?
Right. So can you think of something like if I don't want to train my model again and again, can you think of
My
something?
God. I want it to be concurrent, and then I don't want to train it. Sorry, it's
Okay. Think of it. Okay. Let me make you think. Okay?
Okay.
So we have our data present somewhere. Suppose Amazon products or my courses, right? It is present in some database, like somewhere, right? Some disk. Correct?
Definitely.
So what if when I am sending the query to my model, if I take out just that particular information from the database and I give that to the model, that see, this is the latest information that I have on my disk, just answer the question based on this information. Then I will not have to train the model also, but I am sending this external information. See, think about it. So currently what do I do to ChatGPT? I say, tell me about something.
Can you explain it with the example of Educourses?
Educourses, okay.
Okay.
So suppose ChatGPT doesn't know about Educourses courses. Okay. So now my courses are present in some database, in some disk. Okay. So when I asked, when a query comes from the user, suppose you are the user and you are asking that what are the timings of some particular course of GenAI course. Okay. So my server is going to do, it is going to take out all the information related to GenAI from the database and send that, see, this is the query that came, that what are the timings, and this is all the information that I have. Now ChatGPT is really good at understanding this information and answering the question. So I've already given it the information and it just has to frame the answer in a good way.
What is this called?
This is called RAG. Okay, let me explain.
RAG
stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. Let me explain. See, retrieval meaning we are retrieving the information from
data.
Augmented meaning whatever is the query coming that I am adding the information to. Generation, I am generating the answer.
Agreed.
Beautiful.
RAG. Okay.
Retrieval,
Two
augmented.
things I have learned today. Fine tuning and RAG.
So now tell me the difference between both quickly.
Fine tuning is basically my company specific information.
RAG is also company specific information.
Okay, RAG is also company specific information. RAG, you are giving some additional inputs, whereas in
with the query.
With the query, and whereas in fine tuning it is not.
Yes. So in fine tuning, we are changing the model. We are training the model. In RAG, we are not training the model. We are just giving the
facilitating the model.
Yes. We are just adding the extra information
now got it.
that it might need.
So which is better? RAG is better or fine tuning is better?
It depends on the situation.
Okay.
Correct. So suppose if my products are being updated once in a year, correct, then it makes sense that I will just fine tune the model
Okay.
and keep it.
Understood.
But if it is very frequent, like news or like Amazon products or something like
then
that,
RAG will be the better
makes
answer.
more sense, right?
Okay.
See, and why am I saying that it makes more sense to fine tune the model in that case? Because even to ChatGPT, have you noticed that sometimes the answers can become very long and like it says that this is the limit and all of this? Because
But I have not noticed.
Okay,
but it's otherwise also. Sometimes I ask it to elaborate it, and it elaborates also.
correct. But what happens is that we use ChatGPT for free, right? But when any company is using the model,
They're using the paid models.
so there are limited number of words that you can send like that in very simple terms. So when you send a lot of context with RAG, like from the entire information about this course, you're going to send a lot of data and it is going to be charged more.
Okay.
So if possible, why don't you fine tune it and keep it? So there are pros and cons of both.
Company specific.
Right. Okay, let me do a small quiz with you.
Okay.
So if I have information that is updating very frequently, like on a daily basis, then what will I use? RAG or fine tuning?
Fine tuning.
Something that updates very frequently.
I'm sorry. Then RAG. I'm sorry.
RAG, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's okay. But if I have information that is not being updated very frequently,
Then as you said, fine tuning.
fine tuning. In which solution do I update my model?
In which situation you update your model? Basically, when your fine tuning is required,
Correct.
then you update your model.
Very good. So when am I training my model? In fine tuning.
Yeah.
In RAG, do I train my model?
No, you are not training your model.
In fine tuning, do I use any specific like external database while answering?
While answering external database, external or internal to your company?
Like I've already trained the model, no? So
Yeah.
only model is enough. We do not need any external information,
Okay.
right? Versus in RAG, we have this database from which we are going to get the information and understood,
Okay.
no?
Yeah, that is clear.
Pakka?
Pakka.
Okay, done. Now let's talk about one more problem. Okay. Now you must have seen that these models have started running even in the smallest of the devices. Think of like your watches or your phones.
Yeah.
Correct. So the models that would run in such small devices would be really small, right? Like it should be like it should take very less memory. But when we are saying that huge models, it is going to take like a lot of memory to save them. So how do we make these models run in such small devices?
Frankly speaking, no idea.
Okay, so let me give you another example over here. Think about me. So I have learned AI ML, right?
Yes.
So I would have spent months and months learning about it.
Definitely.
But now when I teach my students, I teach it in 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6,
or
7 weeks.
Yeah.
Correct? So now when I'm teaching it in 6, 7 weeks, my students learnt it from the teacher
In 7 weeks.
in very quick way.
Yeah.
Right? So similarly, what we are going to do is we have this huge models like GPT, Gemini ka model and all of this, right? These huge models, DeepSeek. And then we have small models,
Okay.
right? So what we are going to do is
They
these big models would have already learnt the patterns.
They are learning from that big models.
The small models will now learn from the big models.
Very interesting.
So this is going to be the
Your
student model.
example is very
Right.
good.
So this is my total model is my student model.
Okay, good.
The big model is my
Big model is a large model of the ChatGPT or
teacher
Gemini.
model.
Teacher model.
Teacher
okay.
model, student model.
Student model.
Right. This is called distillation.
Distillation. Okay.
So you know what DeepSeek did when it became very famous? So DeepSeek was huge, right? So it distilled to some small models
Small model.
and it made it very easily available. So now people can run it in their own local machines. So now the problem that people face that I have my own personal information. I don't want to send it to GPT. I don't want to make it public. So what you can do is you can actually run small models in your own local machine.
Okay.
And now you're just dealing with that. It is not public anywhere.
I'll give you maybe a solution, an example for this. So suppose you are working in an automobile car company. You may require your service engineers to know the answers, but you may not require the public to know the answers.
Right. So you're going to make your small models
Small
run
modules
over
is
there.
specifically for the service engineers.
Correct. Beautiful.
Got it.
So this was the third topic that I wanted you to understand. Fine tuning, RAG,
RAG.
and
What is the name? This
I told you.
You told me the name.
Distillation.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, distillation.
We are distilling out the information
Agreed.
from the big model to the...
A small model.
Okay, now summarize all three for me.
Fine tuning is when large data is required and frequency is not very often.
Very good.
And then we need do the fine tuning.
Very
But when it comes to retrieval augmentation and generation, that is RAG what you called, the updation is required very frequently, so you don't want to put in large resources, so you use the RAG one. Now as you gave the example from the teacher to the student model, teachers learns in maybe years and the student learns in 1 semester, half a semester, 3 days, 7 days, 6 weeks. From teacher to the student model, you are what you call distillation. So this is the three concepts we have explained.
Very good. Awesome. So this is it for today. Did you enjoy?
Definitely.
I am going to be teaching you more MNAI concepts. Are you interested?
I would love it. I would love it.
Oh. So stay tuned, guys. Tell them to subscribe.
Thank you. Please subscribe to the channel of Kirti.
It should be more convincing, Papa, that you have to subscribe.
And if you really want to learn more, why don't go and subscribe to this channel of Kirti Purswani. And to be very frank, I always watch her videos.
Everyone, give a huge round of applause to him for
Thank
being
you.
a great sport. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Kirti. Bye.